A warning before you listen.
What you are about to hear is not meant for children, nor for the faint of heart. This is an unfiltered retelling of ancient myths, told as they were born, raw, violent, unsoftened. Expect scenes of brutality, curses that linger, betrayals that reshape fate, and a hunger for power that shows no mercy. These myths were never meant to lull children to sleep. They were forged in blood, shadow, and fire. So ask yourself, are you ready to hear them as they were first told? Sources and references can be found in the episode description.
Chapter 10, from the Titans' Epic, Origins of Power and Makers of Tyranny. The Swallowing Chain, a Requiem Repeated. The first child was only a prelude, a trembling note in a melody destined to repeat 5 times, each with a different hue, each with a breast that didn't nourish, but mourned. Then came the second, Demeter. She arrived like the first drop of rain after a drought, her face blooming with fertility, her eyes whispering the promise of life. Rhea wept as she bore her, because she knew the seed birthed from her womb would never sprout. Still, she named her Demeter and whispered against her newborn skin, "You make me bloom again, even if only for a moment." But as the child reached her breast, the door slammed. Cronus entered, and with a single motion the green was swallowed by the stone, and the promise became a past that could never return. The third, Hera, a storm, even in the womb. Rhea screamed like never before, for this one came not to be born, but to claim. She named her Hera, a queen not yet crowned, and when she held her, it felt like cradling a throne, not a child. But the throne was snatched, the glory devoured, and Cronus, he saw not a daughter, but another number in his butcher's tally. Then came the fourth, Hades. A child who did not cry but opened his eyes, and they looked like tombs. His skin was not human. It looked as if earth itself had kissed flesh. His breath came not from life, but from whatever lay behind its veil. Rhea trembled, yet she loved him. He did not seek milk. He demanded a promise. She looked at him, her eyes shattered. "I'll name you Hades, for you will not dissolve in death. You will dwell within it." When Cronus entered, he found no baby, only a shadow, so he swallowed the shadow, and the void fed the void. The fifth, Poseidon. He wasn't born, he erupted. A storm entered the womb and came out screaming, "I am the sea!" He was born howling, water bursting from his mouth instead of tears, as if a whale had birthed him, not a woman. Rhea gasped, "This is not my son. This is the ocean when angered." She held him. But storms aren't held, and floods do not hush. Cronus came, swallowed the storm, and thought the calm had returned. 5 times, 5 stabs in the same breast, 5 funerals without caskets, without graves, without memory. Rhea no longer screamed. Screams had lost their meaning. She did not cry. Tears betray eyes that have betrayed the heart. She counted. She remembered. She carved names into the walls of her womb, etched a map of the future in the ink of dread. On the 6th night, the milk dried, and the womb became a crypt, not to surrender the dead, but to keep them. There was no more room for hope, no plan for salvation. Only one desire remained. Let the next one not be devoured. And so, when it was time for Zeus, Rhea wasn't preparing for a birth. She was summoning the final storm. This chapter of the epic has come to an end, but remember, What you've just heard is not a record of facts, but the echo of a myth, a story born from the imagination of the ancients, etched into the long memory of humankind. If this tale stirred something in you, if it opened a door to reflection or wonder, don't forget to support the channel and share the journey with those you love. And in the comments, tell us which moment in this chapter struck you the most and why. We'll meet again in the next chapter of this audio odyssey through time. Until then, farewell.